guys. I'd like to read to you one of my favorite Thanksgiving books. It's called Thank You, Sarah. It's written by Lori Halse Anderson and illustrated by Matt Faulkner. Thank You, Sarah, the woman who saved Thanksgiving. Now, I know that some of you have heard this before, but I think it's an important message for all of us. You think you know everything about Thanksgiving, don't you? How the Native Americans saved the Pilgrims from starving. They're bringing food to them even. And how the Pilgrims held a big feast to celebrate and say thank you. Turkeys, pumpkin pie, cranberries, the works. Well, listen up. I have a news flash. We almost lost Thanksgiving. And the artist, the illustrator of this book, has combined the new with the old. So we have obviously this is new, but then we've got turkey is old and new, and pilgrims are old, but the dinosaurs would be from the floats and the parades. So that's new. Didn't know that, did you? It's true. Way back when skirts were long and hats were tall, Thanksgiving was fading away. Sure, the folks up in New England celebrated it. They'd roast a turkey and invite the relatives when the harvest came in, but not in the South, not in the West, not in the mid-Atlantic states. More and more people ignored the holiday. Thanksgiving was in trouble. It needed a superhero. P for pilgrim, a pilgrim superhero. Or nowadays, no, it's way back then. Thanksgiving needed a real superhero. Someone bold and brave and stubborn and smart. Thanksgiving needed Sarah Hale. Now I know what you're thinking. She doesn't look like a superhero. She looks like a dainty little lady. Never underestimate dainty little ladies. Sarah Hale was every inch a superhero. Not only did she fight for Thanksgiving, she fought for playgrounds for kids, schools for girls, and historical monuments for everyone. She argued against spanking, pie for breakfast, dull stories, corsets and bloomers and bustles, and very serious things like slavery. I love the way the illustrator has taken pieces of this and put a lot of comedy into it. And as if that wasn't enough, she raised 5 children. She wrote poetry, children's books, novels, biographies. She was the first female magazine editor in America. She published great American authors like Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and Edgar Allan Poe. And she was the lady that composed Mary Had a Little Lamb. How did she do all of these things? She was bold, brave, stubborn, and smart. And Sarah Hale had a secret weapon. A pen. Now imagine if she had the computers that we have today. I'm thinking of all the other things that she accomplished, but if she had that computer, I can't imagine the things that she would accomplish today. When Sarah saw something she didn't like, she picked up her pen and wrote about it. She wrote letters, she wrote articles, she wrote and wrote and wrote, until she persuaded people to make the world a better place. Nothing stopped Sarah. Sarah Hale loved Thanksgiving. She wanted the whole country to celebrate it on the same day. When folks started to ignore Thanksgiving, well, that just curdled her gravy. Curdled, lumpy gravy. She picked up her pen. Sarah wrote letters, thousands of letters, asking politicians to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. She wrote magazine articles asking her readers for help. Now, over 100 years ago, if she was the editor of a magazine, who do you suppose the people were that read her magazine? Would it be men or women? You're right, it's probably women. The women of America listened. They put down their babies, their hoes, their skillets, and their washing. They picked up their pens and they started writing. When the letters arrived, the politicians listened too. One by one, the states officially made Thanksgiving a holiday. But that wasn't good enough. Sarah Hale wanted the whole country to celebrate together like a family. So she went to the top. And in this case, it's to the White House. Sarah wrote to the president himself, Zachary Taylor. He refused. Did that stop Sarah? No. She waited for the next election and wrote to the new president, Millard Fillmore. He said no too. So 4 years in between each of these elections, each of these presidents. Start adding it up and you'll figure out how many years it took her to do this. Did that stop Sarah? No. She was bold, brave, stubborn, and smart. Sarah wrote to the next president, Franklin Pierce. Wouldn't a national day of Thanksgiving be wonderful? No, Pierce grumbled. Sarah penned an elegant letter to President James Buchanan. She gave all the reasons why America would be better off if everyone gathered on the fourth Thursday in November to give thanks. President Buchanan disagreed. He had other things on his mind. He had people that wanted slavery. He had people wanting to remove themselves from the Union. Other people wanted states' rights. Then there was people over here that wanted no slavery, and they were from the Union. These were from the North, and these were from the South. So he's trying to keep a united country with two halves that don't get along. Sarah felt like the stuffing had been kicked out of her. Everything was going wrong. America was at war. The North against the South. The states that had promised to celebrate Thanksgiving changed their mind. The country was falling apart. It was a bleak and scary time. Did that stop Sarah? No way. Nothing stopped Sarah. Superheroes work the hardest when things get tough. She picked up her mighty pen and wrote another letter, this time to President Abraham Lincoln. America needed Thanksgiving now more than ever. A holiday wouldn't stop the war, but it could help bring the country together. She signed the letter, folded it, slid it into an envelope. She wrote Mr. Lincoln's name and address on the envelope and stuck on a stamp. She mailed the letter. She waited, and she waited. And then Lincoln said yes. Lincoln said yes. The nation gives thanks. In 1863, President Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday, a day for all Americans to give thanks together. It took Sarah Hale 38 years, thousands of letters, and countless bottles of ink, but she did it. Nothing stopped Sarah. That bold, brave, stubborn, and smart lady saved Thanksgiving for all of us. Thank you, Sarah. Way to go, Sarah. There's our big dinosaur in the parade. So, thank you for listening. And if this is the week before Thanksgiving, I wish you guys the best Thanksgiving ever. I'll see you soon. Miss you guys.